If you've already subscribed, then join the tribe by clicking the bell. Get notifications every time a new video comes out. This December, I went to Coorg for 4 days to spend New Year's Eve with my family, and this is my journal.
सिटी पे चीज मानी जाती है करने के लिए सिर्फ एंजिन खोलने के लिए फ्लैप को इस तरह उठाया जाता है। कैबिन में हवा के दबाव में कमी होने पर नकाब स्वयं नीचे आ जाएंगे। अपने स्थान पर बैठे रहें।
Welcome to Coorg! 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday.
Guys, okay, I'm trying to get them to say it's a family holiday, but now you know. 1, 2, 3. It's a family holiday. So Coorg actually has so many different names. Now it is called as Kodagu. It's also known as the Scotland of India because that's what the Britishers called it. There was a massive British settlement here in Coorg, and it's also known as the Kashmir of South India. I can totally understand why, because it's lush, it's green, and it's absolutely beautiful. Good morning everyone. We've got a super day planned out. We've hired our own little tempo traveler and we're gonna go to a million places with the whole family. A million places? Yeah, I think that was a bit of an exaggeration because you can see Coorg pretty much in a day. Some of it is a little depressing and the other stuff not that impressive. So this is the main Namdroling monastery that they have, and in Kodagu basically it has one of the highest Tibetan settlements in South India. It's a beautiful example of how the north and south have come together. Even when you're walking the streets, you'll see so many Tibetans and you see them riding around, and I think even the cuisine, it has like a little bit of those kind of flavors. But if you've seen other Tibetan settlements, then this does not really compare. But it's sweet, especially in comparison to our next stop, which was the elephant sanctuary, where I saw elephants scarred by chains and looking really unhappy because of their treatment. That's a lot of people trying to touch that elephant, and I'm feeling really bad for him right now. Okay, so clearly he doesn't like it. This has not turned out to be such a happy experience. I'm like really upset looking at how they've kept these elephants. And some of these tourists, they don't really understand what they're supposed to do or how they're supposed to treat them or how they're even supposed to be around them, and it's really upsetting to watch this. Alright, so we've reached Abbey Falls. Some people in the group have decided to stay back because you have to now do 170 steps. So going down is going to be like super easy. Going up, it's going to be a pain. The waterfalls are one more tourist trap because 1, it's really crowded with people, and 2, the main bridge has been blocked. So you have to see the falls from this really awkward angle. And by the way, the 170 steps, nothing like that. Literally, I think it's just like 170 steps. Piece of cake. And we pretty much come to like a fort, the Fort Palace. And frankly, one more disappointment was the fort. Because man, every fort that I have been to has definitely been more impressive. And the museum was shut. So even if there was more cool stuff to see in there, I didn't get to see it. So the only cool thing that is worth doing is hanging out in the forests, especially if you're into bird watching, and these were some of the best forests I've been to till now. So I'm staying in this absolutely magical resort, and I want to give you guys like a sneak peek into what is here. It is so beautiful. It's called as Amanvana, the rabbit hole for the soul. and I can totally understand why they called it that, because there are these little nooks and corners which are so beautiful and so magical. Look at that. You can just come here, hang around. There's a little bonfire and the most amazing view ever. So let's take a tour. So the resort that we stayed at was called Amanvana. It was quite expensive, but I guess it was New Year's Eve and yay, Dad paid for it. The place was very well done and I would happily recommend it to all just because of how green and beautiful it was, and the hospitality was amazing. The rooms are huge, I have to tell you, and it makes it really, really comfortable. The best part of it all has to be the bathroom. And you can lie down and through the skylight you can just chill. At night it's really, really pretty too. So I couldn't find any really cool facts about Coorg other than they're like the largest producers of coffee and the biggest producers of honey in Asia. So I decided that since I'm spending a lot of my time in the forest, then I might as well give you 5 really cool facts about forests around the world. Did you know that when they were shooting Star Wars, Chewbacca actually had to be accompanied with people in bright vests so that when they were roaming around the forest while they were shooting, no one would mistake him for Bigfoot and shoot him. There is a tree that is called as the Pando, and it actually has 4,700, like a colony of 4,700 stems which come from a single root system. So in a way, Genghis Khan at that time helped cool down the earth because he killed over 40 million people. Vast areas of farmland eventually were taken over by forests. The tallest tree in the world is one of the best kept secrets of the world as well. It's somewhere in the redwoods of California. They haven't even given it a proper name. It's nicknamed as Hyperion, and they're not letting anyone know exactly where it is because they want its location to be kept as a secret. It's even taller than the Statue of Liberty and the Big Ben. So if you're ever in the redwoods, maybe you can spot it, but you wouldn't even know if you were standing right next to it. This is what I love about a little adventure, because you're like walking, and you're on this path, and you're like, wow, so pretty. And then suddenly you turn a corner and you have no idea that this is what exists. Give you guys like a few tips on traveling in Coorg. I think it's the perfect place if you are coming with your family, because a lot of the resorts are designed in that way. Traveling in, and of course it's really good for like couples on honeymoons. We saw lots of them. We had tons of them in our hotel as well. I don't think it's such a good place if you're like a bunch of friends coming out together for a holiday. There are a few things to see, but I think there's other places that a group of friends can go to, like better places that you can go to. Traveling in and around Coorg, if you want to do it luxury style, there's lots of cars available on hire, like roughly 2,500 bucks for the day if you're taking like an Innova. A lot of the rickshaws are easily available, and a lot of them, what they will do is that they will do a whole tourist day with you, take you to exactly the same spots, and they'll charge you like maybe 500 bucks. And this is the thing, right, about family holidays, that everybody gets to spend all this wonderful time together and you just get to chill and hang out. I don't get to spend so much time with my family because of work. So for me, this is just amazing to have like 5 days of them 24/7, 24/5 rather. These are moments that you really, really cherish in life. So it's come to an end, that horrible time when you know that you have to get back to reality. We're on our way to the airport and there's that feeling, right? I think that's that feeling that everybody gets when that holiday gets over and now you're just really quiet and you're thinking about how you have to get back to work and you have to get back to reality, but you still have so many beautiful memories that you are gonna take back home. Sorry, this ending was a little low and subdued because I also know that my brother's gonna go back to America and I'm gonna miss having spent all this time with him and just having him around my parents and my nephews and everyone. But it's been absolutely amazing. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share this video because I've put some really nice stuff about Coorg and forests in it. And if you subscribe, help increase the tribe. I'll catch you again soon. Ciao.